Hey everyone, welcome back to the TM1 Breakfast Show. I'm Jon Lee, and today we have a treat for you. Check it out.
I'm going to teach you about perseverance.
Spreadsheets are, absolutely ubiquitous. They're everywhere.
People really rely on numbers. When they see numbers on a piece of paper, they believe them.
And Microsoft think that they're up to 1 billion instances of Excel installed, perhaps.
And you think there might even be 1 trillion?
Oh, easily, yeah.
My name is Manuel Perez. My original full name was Manuel Francisco Teófilo de Jesús Pérez y Torres. The idea of provide a structure, but you provide a minimal structure that minimizes the harm that you can do to others while maximizing your own freedoms. So that's the pattern.
That's right. We're talking about the much-awaited documentary about Manny Perez in TM1, which is Beyond the Spreadsheet, the story of TM1. It's currently going around the world in film festivals and private screenings, I would say a little bit everywhere. Now, I've seen it myself, and I think the movie is fantastic. It did an excellent job to balance the information versus the emotional side of the man who drive TM1 and how it came to be what it is. Now, of course, my opinion is just one out of many interesting people of our TM1 community here in Sydney. So let's go on to see what they think, and hopefully they'll hook you and your interest as well.
It's interesting to see how someone got so engrossed in trying to solve a problem or thinking a way of solving a problem that they actually then gave up their job and spent 2 years or whatever it was trying to invent a product to solve a business problem. So it was pretty amazing seeing that and that commitment to a cause. Like, I can't imagine doing that. And I was expecting him to have done that alongside when he was working at Exxon. I was expecting to see, he did that on the side, and then he showed it to Exxon, and they went, this is fantastic, and it solves the business problem. But no, it was very interesting indeed.
Oh, it was fantastic. I mean, I had seen the YouTube of Manny, so I'm not sure how many people have seen the origin story via YouTube. I might be in the minority there. So a lot of it I did know. Obviously, it was a much higher cut version of that. I found it very insightful and very respectful of the industry as a whole.
I think it was just good because we've had TM1 for just over 20 years, and so a lot of the stuff just came flooding back. So the spreadsheet hell that everyone's been through, that was us 20 odd years ago,
Right.
and you just remember the difficulties and now the simple solutions that we've got and that, and lots of stuff like that was just really good to recall. Brought back all those memories on that on the way.
That is really good.
And so to hear Manny talk on that day a few years ago about how the whole thing came about and what his thinking was and how his progression into the whole, like basically what was covered in the movie, like it left quite an impression on me at the time, where I kind of for several days I just kept thinking about it. Like that was really interesting to me personally, but also this kind of the second thought I had was we should really make sure that this story gets told to more people. And
to be honest, exceeded expectation. It was. I didn't know what to think. I thought, Art Deco kind of indie movie garage type of operation. Pleasantly, that wasn't the case. It was very professional. I liked the narrative. I liked how you built it. I kind of liked the technical to a point, but not overbearing for our non-technical audience. And I think you did a tremendous job.
Oh, I kind of like those diagrams that they had of the spreadsheet and the numbers all linking towards one another or linking with one another, and then the multiple pages and so forth. And how you also started with just a whole sequential data before that, and then it turns into a matrix, and then multiple pages of that matrix, and then how TM1 kind of does that. So that's kind of the bit that that's how I try and describe things. Or if I ever am asked to describe what's TM1, I always say it's a pivot table on steroids.
I mean, it's not the answer that you want. I liked Ben and Jason just driving around Sydney for personal reasons. I don't know if I would show that to anyone else, but I, knowing Ben and knowing Jason, I did actually just like hanging out with them in the car. I'm not happy with that answer, but that's the one that comes to mind.
Okay, it's good. I like it candid. Like the parts where they did the animated part for how the numbers and how things stack together. I would love to show that to my dad because he still doesn't get what I do.
Oh yeah, my mum has no idea.
Definitely. Manny walking up the stairs to the attic. Mm-hmm. Walking into that attic.
You can get in his treasure.
And identifying the PowerPoint that powered his laptop when he invented TM1. Like I've had visions of this attic for years now because I was told, as I told before, Manny sort of kind of gave his story and he mentioned his attic, that's where he invented the whole thing.
Right.
Ever since I've had visions of this attic. so finally seeing Manny walking up the damn stairs and walking into the attic and even, identifying the PowerPoint, to me, that was the greatest moment.
All right.
I can totally see him sitting there hunched over his computer and in the dark. He had to run a wire out there to get a bit of power going and it's exactly kind of...
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. To me, that was the best part of the movie.
The graphical explanations of cubes and how they work, I mean, that's useful. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell it to my friends and family. but I'll try. I'll try for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I would.
But what I found really interesting is more. I'm more about the people, the personal stories, and how it shows off a little bit of the challenges of like consulting to business.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I found that was very interesting.
So we've got I work for a law firm, but we do presentations to the younger lawyers about running a business and profitability and that. So I like some of the sort of the way that the movie introduced some of the accounting challenges and the themes and even some of the blue dot and the red of what machines can do and
that was a good one.
And what needs people, because I guess for lawyers the machines are doing a lot more stuff. All the sort of fairly boring, tedious sort of stuff is being done by machines now. Mm-hmm. But obviously the red bit, which is what the value the lawyers add, is still important. So I'd like to steal some or borrow some of those things out of it and that. And also I liked the video, the movie, because it didn't try and jump in and tell you the answer. Mm-hmm. It sort of introduced it fairly subtly about the pre-spreadsheet world.
Yes.
And the difficulties that businesses had, and then it sort of worked its way slowly into the how the businesses met the challenges and stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed all that, and the lesson I took out of that is when we're presenting to the lawyers, maybe we spend a little bit more time talking about the challenges, and there's all sets of data that we've got, and why we've chosen those KPIs to measure performance, and how they could then have a bit more in-depth understanding of them to use them in the business of, making the firm run as a business. Yeah.
That personal Excel hell, or kind of that containerized Excel growing beyond its means or beyond its abilities, pushing the limits of an Excel spreadsheet that's familiar, and then kind of looking for something to facilitate, knowing we should be able to do it, we could be able to do it, and then discovering TM1 as that thing that can take your little version of the world that kind of breaks down once you pushed it and scales to something that, is enterprise ready. It's big. It's kind of built for that. It's that was my personal takeaway, kind of that. And it was also nice to see the big mistakes that have been made in Excel hell. And I think you did a nice job of highlighting those, and not a lot of people probably would have understood austerity measures being predicated on, faulty data on a spreadsheet, or,
Yes.
Those types of critical decisions. I don't think we're really that. Once you break it down and you tell someone, you're making mad decisions on these potentially erroneous outcomes, and it's because the mechanics that are in this thing are kind of flawed, or human beings overestimate what they are and they kind of lose track of it all. I think that point was made, and I think, especially as the layman, they can relate. They go like, yeah, that makes sense. I've made mistakes too, and I presented it, whatever, to my boss, and he's seen it and gone, that doesn't even make sense anymore.
Absolutely.
So I think that was good.
Okay, this is a very good point, because I think sometimes if you're not in it, it might be a bit hard to understand why would people make mistakes. I thought that's your job. It's almost rude to think that, but I guess that's the reality. And having Harvard professors accidentally getting some formulas wrong just reminds people how real it is, I guess.
Well, we like to pretend that there's got to be an oversight committee. There's got to be a check, right? There's got to be there's someone looking, and it's like, actually no. Someone submits something, and we all believe that person's, credentialed and has the background, and we believe it.
Yes.
And who are we to challenge that expert?
Like one thing maybe, like if I were to level a criticism at the movie, or something that could have been more prevalent in the movie, is like I know we're here in Sydney today, and we're talking in the Sydney, very much in the Sydney context, where TM1 is a really big thing, very big deal, and like lots of companies have it, and there's a big community, and I think that's something that maybe is being missed in the movie. I don't know if it belongs in the movie, but it's something that's important, at least from where I'm sitting. Like there is a really big, strong Sydney community. Like today, we are here at a Q-Bus Client Day, like something we do every year. We have a conference in person as well, generally. Like last year we did online, whatever, but like my point is bringing there's a really strong community out there, and bringing that community together of just genuinely passionate people, passionate about TM1 people, is a really important thing about TM1. Like something you probably don't find around too many other business softwares, which is really what it is, right?
TM1 related. Okay, let's
bring it back. Let's bring it back. TM1 Pie would be good.
Oh yeah, okay.
I find that interesting.
There's obviously a lot that has been built upon, but when you trace back to the kernel of it all, it does all come back to his initial algorithms. I wish I could actually see the ones and zeros behind it. I would love to see the code itself, maybe one day, but no, I think it was a good portrayal.
This taste of normalcy was the best thing that everyone felt that day. Getting together for a movie, beer, popcorn, pizza, and a whole lot of ranting around TM1 was just what everyone needed. So, if you're up to fight the odds of the world and want to organize a private screening, right? Let's organize one and check out the documentary's website at https:// TM1.film. At the bottom of this page, you're going to find a section which you can request a private screening. Provide your email and contact details and information, of course, to provide a particular date to be scheduled. And look, our team's going to look after you. What I'm saying, go and check it out for yourself. Go and explore this website and find awesome goodies available as well. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned to our next episode of TM1 Breakfast Show. I'm Jon Lee. Happy movies.